And later on, we'll see, but now he's just having fun watching his teammates do work. In the game for Richwoods at the moment, it's Tyrese Carter Heron, who chucks up a three, no good. Rebound goes to Jalen McFadden, who's in, and it's wrestled away by DuBois. Kick up ahead to Arons. He'll stutter, drive in, and it bounced off of his leg out of bounds.
Yeah, nice poke there by Marlon Heron, who's able to force the turnover for the Knights.
Tavy Smith back into the game for Richwoods. He'll let it roll up, adjust his shorts. Richwoods feeling pretty comfortable right now. Led 20-0 before that three from Jackson Arons. Lots of turnovers forced early on. Little's three ball rims out. And it will go out back to East Peoria. Little had a big game recently. Richwoods' last game, a 66-55 win over Peoria Notre Dame. Lathan Somerville had 30 in that one, and Daquan Little had 22. So this one, I think, maybe a little bit of a more balanced scoring effort for the Knights, but they do have guys that can really shoulder the load when they need to.
No, for sure, John. I mean, when you play 9 seniors consistently, and then you have Marlon Heron, who's taking lots of minutes as a junior, if you have 10 guys you can rely on, you can get a lot of rest. But if somebody's going off like a Little or a Somerville, or even a Jared Jackson, who currently has 8 points, leading this team with 2-3 steals and forcing even more turnovers, you don't have to worry about that deep bench. But if somebody like a Somerville or a Little isn't making their shots, you've got number 10 that you can bring out there.
That's certainly true, and depth really a huge piece for any team wanting to make a deep run in the playoffs. Arons goes 1 for 2 at the line. Again, coming up after this, for all you tuning in, I want to remind you all that we'll have live audio coverage of Morton and Washington. That game will be on our website, clutchsportsil.com, as well as our YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Three ball in the corner is up and good by Tavy Smith. There's his first bucket. And now 6 Knights have found the scorebook.
Somerville back into the game for Richwoods. Not something that EP wants to see. As a steal there by Smith. Gets it over to Little for the layup and good.
Little's got 7.
Holding the ball now is Jackson Arons, the only man with points on the board for East Peoria.
Arons has 4. Here's a deep three ball from Quentin Kitt that nearly went down. Rebounded by DuBois, who turns around and shoots. Kitt a third chance from the baseline, and Somerville brings in the miss. Somerville's a walking triple-double threat just about every time he takes the court.
Yeah, East Peoria has not had much of an answer on the rebounding when Somerville is out there, except for that opportunity there.
Somerville got fouled on the double team. Third foul on East Peoria. Richwoods, meanwhile, has just 1. See the Knights cook up off the inbound. It's been pretty good for them off those inbounds plays today. Somerville is shot went high off the glass. Under a minute to play. Here's DuBois driving into the lane. Nice feed to a cutting Kitt who finishes.
Great layup there from Kitt. The 6'4" freshman has done a lot for East Peoria this season, and he's definitely going to be one of the pieces they build around here in Raiderville.
Well, it's been a little bit of a new era at East Peoria. You have new players like DuBois and Kitt coming in, new head coach in Jarrett Brown. So, a little bit of a tough start for them, but lots to look forward to. Louderman drops in a 3. There's his first score. That will do it for the first quarter. One of the most dominant quarter performances you will ever see Richwoods jumps out to a 20-0 lead to start, and they lead 28-6 through the first 8 minutes of play. We'll step aside here on CIProud.com. Come back with the second quarter right after this.
Are you shopping for a used car? Make it happen today at every Uftring Auto Group dealer with an incredible selection from a name you know and trust. All-wheel drive SUVs, hard-working trucks, economy cars, muscle, luxury, and more. Many with low miles and remaining factory warranties. Special financing is available, plus our best selection of budget cars in over a year. Get a free Carfax and feel good about your used car from all 8 Uftring locations. Because if we wouldn't sell it to our family, we wouldn't sell it to you. UftingAutoGroup.com.
And welcome back inside the Vern Woolsey Gym here at Limestone Community High School in Bartonville. The Richwoods cheerleaders chanting out their support of the Knights. They've had lots to cheer about as they lead 28-6 through the first quarter. Knights looking to advance to 25-4 and earn a date in the regional title game against the winner of Morton and Washington.
Richwoods comes into tonight on an 11-game winning streak. They have not, they've been battle-tested a lot this season, as here's a 3 from Somerville.
Tough look, and he almost got the shooter's touch.
Yeah, as I was saying, they've been battle-tested a lot this season, but they've been dominant as of late, coming in, trying to make tonight number 12.
Again, you really don't want to face a team that has a lot of experience in the playoffs. You don't want to face a team that is on a 11-game win streak heading into the playoffs either. And then when you had, you know, just casually one of the top players in the state in Lathan Somerville, oh boy.
Yeah, East Peoria definitely has a challenge ahead of them tonight, especially down 28-6.
Good offensive board though, nice tenacity. Believe that may be Marion Rogers. There's no number 52 in the rosters provided to us. We'll try and confirm or deny if that is Rogers as soon as we can. I believe it is. Here's Greco to inbound and blocked away by Somerville. Swats it near the water cooler, and East Peoria will retain possession, but it's not uncommon to see Somerville get, talk about that triple-double threat, to reach a triple-double and have 10 blocks or more.
Yeah, you don't see that from many players, many days at any level.
Pass was tipped. Du Bois does a nice job of keeping it in bounds. Here's Greco on Somerville. And goes off of a Raider back to Richwoods Knights. They won a regional title last year and then ultimately fell to Metamora in the sectional title game. A rematch is certainly in the cards if they can get to that point. Metamora playing in the Geneseo Regional. They kick off against Galesburg tonight. And then if they would win, they'd face the winner of Peoria High, who we talked about briefly earlier, and Dunlap. Louderman's 3 is an air ball. Wide open down low as Greco kicks it back out for Kitt. Stutter step, nearly blocked. Rolls off the rim, and a nice job there by Rogers on the second chance.
Marion Rogers there is the player we were trying to identify, number 52.
So our earlier suspicions were confirmed. That is Rogers in 52 in black.
Great job, Detective John.
Here's a 3-ball from Little, front rim. East Peoria, despite that 20-0 start, since then they've kept it 8-8. So again, you take out that big run. They're right there with the Richwoods as we'll get a foul away from the ball. Looks like it'll go on East Peoria, specifically go on number 0 for East Peoria. I don't see a number 0 out there. Referee may have been a bit confused. Here's Du Bois' 3. Back out, gets his own miss. Nice hustle from the freshman, but taken away by Little. Oh boy, watch out. And the layup is good by Heron. I think he wanted to throw it down, but just didn't quite have the ups for that one.
No, he definitely wanted to, John, trying to make it even flashier than it was, but instead he'll take the 2 from the layup to get Richwoods up to 30.
And no need to rub it in too much. I mean, you're already ahead by 20 in the first half, so maybe he could have dunked it, just decided to take the sportsman-like approach. As here's Somerville driving in on Greco, slings it with one hand over to Smith. High post shot off the bank and in. Bank is open for Tavy Smith, even at 6:18 on a Wednesday. Here's Greco on the drive, finds Kit on the baseline. Nice, pretty shot there. East Peoria, the baseline's kind of been their friend. They've gone down there. Good things have happened for the Raiders.
No, they definitely have. But one thing that's very interesting to me right now is East Peoria, they've relied on 3 shooters. They've relied on Aarons, Kit, and Rogers for all 10 of their points. Richwoods had 7 scorers so far, John.
They got in their bench pretty early as Little's 3 rims out. DuBois, nice job of saving it. Here's Ahrens driving in. Mid-range shot is too strong, and it bounces off a night out of bounds. I think East Peoria, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, they're still down 22. If they can just keep slowly chipping away, maybe get it down to maybe 15 around halftime, you're not out of it. They've really played a lot better after that 20-0 run from Richwoods to start the game.
Well, as you said, John, it's been a very even third quarter here. Or second quarter here. We're only halfway through, but no team has ran away with it. They're playing very even basketball. It looks like a different game. 2 different teams out there. DuBois'
3 is off the mark, bounces off of Jackson out of bounds. So if you're Richwoods, obviously, you know it's going to be a long run in the playoffs. You don't want to use up too much energy, but you don't want to let East Peoria creep back into this game if you are the Knights, as we get a late substitution. Smith comes in for Little. And a quick reminder for any of you maybe just be tuning in or maybe didn't see our social media posts. We'll be around for the next game as well between Morton and Washington, the other semifinal. That game will be audio only, and it will be on our website, clutchsportsil.com, as well as our YouTube channel. So we got you covered tonight. That game, no video broadcast because of NFHS network restrictions. They're in the building for that one, but we'll have free live audio coverage between the Potters and Panthers. Nice quick finish there from Caleb Greco. It's like that. East Peoria has cut it back down to 20. Got some good looks and seen the ball go in the net a little more often than they did in the first few minutes.
Yeah, it looks like East Peoria wants to wait for Richwoods to make a move as they triple team Somerville right there, and he threw the ball to a Raider.
Somerville turned it over, and it's finished off by Kit. It looks to be right now, Caden, like Richwoods is maybe taking their foot off the gas a little bit. Maybe that's by design again. Want to save conserve energy for that. Could be a long playoff run, but then again, nothing's guaranteed. As Somerville, just like that, bangs into 3, and he shows off his range.
His first 3 of the night. And yeah, John, Richwoods, they can bring the gas as much as they want, but
as Greco finishes on back-to-back possessions, this could be Greco's potentially his last game as an East Peoria Raider. He's a senior. Again, it's both him and Marion Rogers as Somerville's shot doesn't go, but Heron's there for the offensive board, and he'll head to the stripe. Five players for Richwoods, Caden, already with more than 5 points. Heron's one of them. He's sitting at 5 right now. Somerville is 5. Jackson leads all scorers with 8. He was really responsible, I think, largely for that quick start. Hasn't done a lot since, but he's on the bench now. And Heron goes 1 for 2.
Jackson almost got another assist down low, or steal down low on the three-point arc, as there's a steal right there.
Speaking of which, here's Smith. Back out to Little. He'll dribble to his left and sink the nice baseline jumper. Little's up to 9 points, and boy, he can really shoot the ball. He was an impact player at Peoria High last year, but has really taken a big leap this year for the Knights as well, especially in the last few games.
Little transferred over from Peoria High. This is his first season here over at Richwoods, and he's definitely made an impact on Richwoods as one of the top players.
Here's Du Bois. East Peoria, they got a big transfer of their own last year when Justin Page from Manual came over there. Nice follow and can't quite go. Richwoods brings in the miss, but having Page come over last year for that East Peoria squad, paired him along with Cole Du Bois and Sol Chow and some other big playmakers. East Peoria really was, a team that was really a dark horse last year, and I think they're going to, build back to that point. They're a dark horse again this year, too. Kit showing off his range. Nice three ball from the freshman.
Yeah, deep three there. Puts him at 9, same as Little. So both teams have a 9-point scorer. As Little's going to drive into this one.
East Peoria's got it to under 20, but could go back over 20 again. Somerville was ready to finish off the alley-oop right there.
Yeah, just hanging on the net there after the miss from Little.
Somerville could pretty much build a house 10 feet up in the air because he lives above the rim. As Little's first is a little bit too strong. Maybe a bit too much time in the Richwoods weight room. Somerville will check out for the Knights, and it looks like Carter will come back in. Second one is also no good, so again, still a door open for East Peoria to get it to 15 at the half. Here's Ahrens, hounded, nearly taken away by Little, and we'll get a reach-in call there on Heron. Richwoods has been pretty handsy. They've always had their hands out ready to try and get those steals. East Peoria, though, if they can get past that first line of defense, it usually opens up drives like we just saw.
Oh, for sure. A lot of tenacious defense, but that same level of defense allows you to penetrate into the paint if you can get past it.
Potentially draws a foul, can drive and kick as well if that's the case.
Having such aggressive defense gets in the mind and forces a turnover like that, but could also, at the same end of the switch, force a foul.
There's Carter's three. That's good. Count them up. 8 scores in the first half now for the Knights.
The press is on for the Knights as well, but East Peoria is going to be able to use that to their advantage and drive into the paint.
And a charge drawn. Nice job there by Carter, setting his feet and giving the offensive foul to East Peoria. And we'll get McFadden back in the game for Richwoods. They can, keep putting that foot on the gas like we talked about earlier and not let up too much. You think that there's maybe a chance that every single Knight on the roster could score. We're trending in that direction at least.
I mean, that would be an impressive and a half game if you get all your players to score in a playoff game, John.
Especially it's, again, East Peoria is, came in certainly as the underdogs, but they're not a pushover. They're a team that, 112 games, was above 500 for most of the year. 3 balls blocked by Kit. That's got 0.3 seconds left to go, but Kit showing his defensive chops there, came flying in.
Yeah, Kit definitely, even though he's the freshman, looks like a leader on the floor right now, which is something that Raider fans love to see, as he's going to be here for a long time and the piece to build around for the Raiders' future.
He certainly will be, but Richwoods will build on a 22-point lead. They lead 41-19 at the half. Daquan Little leads all scorers with 9, Jackson with 8, and that defensive pressure just had East Peoria looking for answers early on.
Oh, for sure, John. When you have 8 different scorers on a team, as well as tenacious defense that is that East Peoria could not figure out how to get around, it's going to cause such a big gap in the score, which we just saw.
It's all Richwoods at the start, but we'll see if East Peoria has a massive comeback in them. We'll step aside for a minute here on CIProud.com. Glad you're with us here for live and free coverage of the Limestone Regional in Class 3A. We'll send it to a quick break here for all of our sponsors who help make tonight possible, and we'll come back. We'll break down the first half and talk about all of the other playoff action going on in the Peoria area. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Lunch service starting at 11. Meadows Avenue Tap. Discreet gaming, great food, great friends. Our customers won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
At Bob Grimm Chevrolet in Morton, we have 18 Trax and Trailblazers on the way from Chevrolet. Listen to Mandy about how to get yours today.
Roger was wonderful to work with. He got it to me just under the wire of my finance approval and saved the day.
That's the Bob Grimm way.
If your driveway and garage don't see eye to eye, or your sidewalk is a tripping hazard, there's a fast, affordable choice when leveling your existing concrete. Concrete Polyfix uses a super strong urethane compound to fill in sunken walkways and driving surfaces. Installation takes a couple hours with surfaces ready for use in 15 minutes, all at a fraction of the price of replacement. Concrete Polyfix is your fast, affordable concrete solution. Call Concrete Polyfix for your free estimate today.
And welcome back inside the Vern Woolsey Gym here at Limestone Community High School. We're at the halftime stopping point of Richwoods and East Peoria. Jonathan Michael here alongside Caden Sexton. Caden, let's break down the first half a little bit. And just overall, lots of things to like for Richwoods. What is maybe one thing that you liked the most out of the Knights in that first half?
Well, I liked how they were passing the ball around and how they used 8 scorers. For those of you who tuned in a little late, Richwoods started the game 20-0, but in that 20-0 run, they had 7 different players score a point. I mean, that's almost unheard of. Richwoods has been passing the ball around. They've been using not only their stars to score a high number of points, with Jared Jackson at 8 and Daquan Little at 9, but they've also used some of their guys off the bench, like Jernell Etherly has 2, and Tyrese Carter's got a 3. They've been using everybody to be able to make this off, or to be able to put the 41 points on the board for their offense. So.
It's really been going on all cylinders. They're a well-oiled machine, the Knights are right now. And for East Peoria, a tough start. They weren't able to get even many shots off because Richards was forcing turnovers before they could even shoot the ball on many possessions. But since then, they've settled in. They've got some nice looks down in the paint, even with Somerville still in the game. I think got to credit guys like Kit, Greco, and Rogers just continuing to fight. And that's what you like to see from East Peoria. Well,
and you also have to give a shout out to Jackson Aranez, who did break that 20-0 run with a deep 3. Before that 3, East Peoria had a couple shots, John, but nothing was going down. However, they probably had more turnovers than they did shots. We aren't keeping track of those stats up here, but it definitely looked so with steal after steal from the Knights.
Certainly, we'll break down the scoring here. Ahrens has 4 for East Peoria. Kit has 9. Caleb Greco has 4, and Rogers has 2. For Richwoods, well-balanced effort led by Little's 9. Jared Jackson's got 8 points and a couple of steals. You got Tavy Smith with 5, Lathan Somerville with 5. Marlon Heron has 6. J.D. Etherly has 2. Louderman has 3, and Carter has 3 as well. And again, players that haven't scored but have already gotten into the game have included Barksdale, McFadden, Kylan Ross, I think, may have been in as well. So the whole team's getting to play for Richwoods, and again, there are lots of benefits if they continue to have this big lead.
Yeah, one thing that I do have to give credit for is the EP student section is here and loud and proud. John, you made mention of how the Richwoods cheerleaders were out there very happy. Well, despite the 41-19 first half, you never saw a lower tone in that East Peoria student section. They were chanting, they were taunting at every play and every possession. They have definitely been showing out here for the Raiders.
It certainly have. It's been a good atmosphere here in Limestone. Again, winner of this game will face Morton and Washington coming right up after this. We'll have live audio coverage on ClutchSportsIL.com. So make the switch over from CIProud.com after this one. We'll have you cover their game. Will also be on our YouTube channel as well. Looking real quick, again, we'll break down some more scores in the area right now. But real quick, we'll leave you with this one. We'll come back with some more. Metamora leads Galesburg 56-13 at the half. So this isn't even the biggest blowout that we're seeing right now.
Not in the middle line, nope.
It's been all Richwoods so far, but we'll send it to a quick break and come back. More coverage between Richwoods and East Peoria, and more breaking down of the IHSA playoffs right after this.
Hey moms and dads, come on over to Underdog Sports this spring and get your kids some gear.
Softball, baseball, and soccer cleats, along with sports bags.
We also have used golf equipment.
And disc golfers, check us out too. Underdog Sports and Fanfare.
The official spring home show starts February 23rd at the Peoria Civic Center. And Prairie Home Alliance will be there to help spring your home into shape. Pick up your curb appeal with roofing, siding, windows, sunrooms, and more from Peoria Siding and Window. Take the risk out of rainy days with gutter helmet and B-Dry basement waterproofing. Update that outdated kitchen for less time, mess, and money with Woodfront Kitchens. And give your bathroom the best in beauty and function with custom bath solutions. At Prairie Home Alliance, everything under our roof takes care of everything under yours. See you at the home show.
At Bob Grimm Chevrolet in Morton, we have 18 tracks and trailblazers on the way from Chevrolet. Listen to Mandy about how to get yours today.
Roger was wonderful to work with. He got it to me just under the wire of my finance approval and saved the day.
That's the Bob Grimm way.
Family banking from a name you trust, Hometown Community Banks. For over 6 decades, we've been here right where you needed us. High-quality banking services delivered by caring professionals, people just like you who live and love Central Illinois. It's a history we're proud of and one we'll continue to offer to every person who walks through our doors. When you bank in your hometown, your money stays in your hometown. Hometown Community Banks, divisions of Morton Community Bank. Look for the clock tower and you'll know we have time for you.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Now serving breakfast Saturday and Sunday at 7. Meadows Avenue Tap. Great breakfast, discreet gaming. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
Welcome back inside Limestone Community High School. Jonathan Michael and Caden Sexton hanging out here at halftime. Okay, we mentioned one big score at halftime right now. Metamora up big on Galesburg. They're on pace to put up 100 on the Silver Streaks, 56-13. So it looks like they'll be moving on to their regional title games. Some other scores as well. In Class 4A, Normal Community up 24-9 on Minooka at the half. And also some surprising outcomes in the heart of Illinois. Tremont is up on El Paso Gridley right now, 30-27 over at the Class 2A P&D regional.
Yeah, we talked in the top of the show, John. Normal Community is the only team in the Big 12 to have beaten the Richwoods. That game was a 57-49 Normal Community win, and that led Normal Community to go 10-0 in the Big 12 and win the conference. But that Tremont-El Paso Gridley game, very, very tight race. As you were mentioning, John, in the break, when we were off air, El Paso Gridley nearly state ranked 24-5, and they're having to fight right now.
They certainly are. Again, you know, Jonah Funk, Micah Meese, two big playmakers for El Paso Gridley, but the Turks giving them all they can handle. Again, that's just the beauty of the playoffs. And, you know, any team can beat you on any given night. You know, Tremont's a very good team as well. They want their shot at either normal U-High or Peoria Notre Dame. That's who they would face tonight. Again, Manual's also in action. They're playing, Manual's playing, I believe, Bloomington Central. No, I believe they're playing, they are playing Bloomington Central Catholic down in Olympia. Excuse the quick mix-up there. So that's one to keep an eye on. Rams looking for a regional title. Again, Illini Bluffs is in action in Class 1A. They're looking to get back, not say get back, but they want to get to the state title. They're certainly a team to watch as well. And lots of games coming up at 7:30. Morton and Washington here. There's Peoria High and Dunlap playing. That's one to keep an eye on. Normal West takes on Rock Island. Lots of other games around the area. It's really the best time of the year. There's just every game means so much at this point. And, you know, again, you never know what's going to happen. You didn't think that Richwoods would be up by 22 on East Peoria at the half.
No, you didn't. And, John, I mean, every game matters. It's why we play the sport, because any team can win on any given night.
We'll see what the second half has in store. Quentin Kitt will inbound. He had a good first half for the Raiders. Richwoods coming out in a bit of a 2-3 defense. East Peoria working it around the perimeter. Ahrens finds Kit, sees Somerville, and draws the foul. Probably pretty intimidating to try and pull a three ball like he almost did when you have a 6'10" big man right there in your face.
And just because he's a 6'10" big man, he's got a lot of mobility, and he's going to be able to jump and lurch at you and take out all the air in front of you.
Tipped pass, Little keeps it in bounds, but no one was home. Here's Ahrens kicking it out. Kit's open three on the way, is off to the left. Little driving baseline, looking for Somerville. Now the big man gets it, and he's fouled from behind by Kit. And we talk about Somerville, Caden. It's just so hard to find a player comparison for him because you don't see many guys that are 6'10", 230, 240 pounds like he is that can shoot the ball and that can pass the ball and can run like he does. I'm racking my brain trying to think of who's like him, and there's really not many. I talked with him earlier in the season, and he said the best piece of advice that his father, Marcellus Somerville, Bradley legend, gave to him was don't let anyone put you in a box. And he is certainly an out-of-the-box player for Richwoods.
He certainly is, as he just drains 2 free throws, getting his total up to 7 tonight. I mean, you can't compare anybody to him because he is his own player. He is his own category. When you have a guy, like you said, one-handed hurls from the post to post, putting up an arm and blocking every shot, doing that, leaning all the way back and grabbing the ball midair to get a rebound. What other player, and again, one-handed hurl across the paint or across the court to get an assist? What other player in Illinois, not even just Illinois, the country, is doing this right now?
There may be a few, but there's not many. That's for sure. Somerville puts a putback in, and Richwoods leads by 26.
And we saw the first drive of the game. East Peoria put 4 defenders on him the first time he had the ball.
That's a major sign of respect if I've ever seen one. And again, you know, Somerville's been a big piece, I think, of Richwoods' success. I still think, though, that, you know, I mean, you got to give him tons of credit for what he's done this year and the huge games he's put up. But I still think that, you know, as that one's blocked away by Jackson with some authority, and Kit's shot rolls in, I think that Richwoods would still be a very good team. I still think they'd finish right near the top of the Big 12 and probably even be state-ranked even without Lathan Somerville because they have all these other guys. Here's the big man for 3, just a bit short. How about Little picking the pocket, and an East Peoria foul will go on either Du Bois or Kit.
Yeah, what a play there by Little, just fighting for that ball every inch. He doesn't want to show any weakness, and he wants to just keep the pressure and the gas on for as long as him and Richwoods are here tonight in Limestone.
Both him and Jackson have played with a really high motor tonight. Little's 3 ball is off. He's missed his last couple, but he can knock them down, that's for sure. Had a game recently where he had 6 threes in the first half alone. As here's Du Bois over to Jackson Ahrens. Du Bois with it now. He's been quiet, hasn't scored yet. He's been in double figures almost every game for the Raiders this year. Ahrens, nice feed, nice pass back out. Du Bois' 3. Rebounded by Jackson. Here comes Little with some speed. The scoop, Somerville almost finished it with one hand.
I mean, Somerville just, I'm kind of speechless right now, John.
Ken, I got to ask, is this your first time watching him play in person?
It is the first time I've watched him play in person, and I've never seen a player.
And there's Jackson going upstairs for the dunk. Believe it or not, he's the first night to reach double figures tonight. But, Kaden, I was going to say, I'm not surprised to see because we did a Richwoods game, I believe, a couple weeks ago, and our crew that was there at that game shared the same sentiment. They couldn't believe what they were seeing because no one's ever seen a play like Somerville before. Deep 3 from Ahrens is good.
Yeah, I mean, John, I've never seen a player with his size being able to do all five skills of a basketball player, to be able to shoot, assist, rebound, block, and steal the ball, running down, being the first one on either end of the floor.
Smith, nice ball movement, and Somerville with some authority.
I think he heard me talking about him a little bit and how impressed I was, and he had to up the ante a little bit more, John.
Caden, I know recently in the sporting world there was the Daytona 500, and a lot of people talk about, when's the big one going to happen, meaning the big crash. For Lathan Somerville, it's, for him the big one is when's his big dunk going to come, and that was the big one right there. Here's Ahrens quickly the other way, wide open lane, and finishes. He's got 9.
John, as this game has gone into the second half, I've seen behind me to my right the Washington Panthers team, and in front of me to my left, the Morton Potters, both taking some seats, wanting to watch Richwoods play one more time before, or East Peoria play one more time before they have to face off against the winner of this one. The winner of that one plays the winner of this one for the sectional.
Nice feed, Smith to Jackson, the easy bucket. You bring up a good point, Caden. With these, regional semifinal games, they're, at least for the boys, they're usually the only round of games where there's double headers on the same night. So it gives teams an opportunity to see, what they could be up against in the regional title game. That game would be at 5, or that game will be not at 5 p.m. It will be on the 5th day of the week. That's what I was thinking. Friday at 7 p.m. for a spot at the Pontiac sectional on the line. Louderman's 3 in the corner rattles out. Pontiac definitely a place again. Nothing's absolutely confirmed yet, but a place that we're looking at being next week with whoever wins this regional. Again, we'll have 2 non-local teams in the semifinals, but winner of this regional and the winner of the Geneseo regional will be there. So we'll probably feature some sort of combination between Metamora, either Morton or Richwoods or Washington. Maybe Pure High or Dunlap pulls off the unthinkable and topples the Redbirds. You never know.
You can't count anything out in sports, John.
And records, you see them on the bottom of your screen on the score bug, but they do not mean anything right now at this point of the season. But Richwoods has done a very nice job of avoiding the upset tonight, barring a barrage of shots from East Peoria. Here's Little stepping into the high post. Here's Heron with it now. He's certainly a player to watch for Richwoods because he'll be one of the lone returners for them next year. You look at who comes back for Richwoods from this year's team. We'll have Caden Johnson, a sophomore, Elijah Barksdale, a junior, Amari Smith-Holly, a sophomore, and then Marlon Heron, the junior, and Truman Raher, a junior as well. So only 5 returners for the Knights.
And out of the names you just said, John, only Marlon Heron has scored points tonight for the Knights.
Again, maybe a bit of a year of learning for them. I'm sure they're learning so much from this group of seniors, especially in practice and on the bench as well. I'm sure it's tough for them in terms of maybe playing time this year because their first couple guys off the bench are all seniors, but no doubt they can make an impact. As here's Jackson. He has got a game-high 14 now, and this is an effort that Jackson's putting on that was, similar to games he had last year. Him and Smith really carried the load before Somerville was in the picture, before Daquan Little was in the picture as well, and now they're still showing that hey, we can still take over a game.
And who knows, John, you might see another recruit like Somerville and Little come into Richwoods next year, and Richwoods with their juniors who've just learned and gotten experience are at the same place.
There are, transferring around is, certainly a factor. Nice finish by Ahrens right there as he's now reached double figures. But, there's always a couple of those transfers each year. You never know. You had, last year you had Justin Page come over to East Peoria. This year you had Cooper Koch going from Metamora, or from P&D over to Metamora. Have Little going over from Peoria High to Richwoods. And back in the football scene, you had Javen Moore going from Richwoods over to Peoria High. So you never know who you're going to pick up. That will do it for the third quarter. Richwoods still holding a big lead with 8 minutes to play. see if they can hang on in the final quarter. Stay tuned right after these messages for the fourth on CIProud.com.
The Jansen Law Center, representing Illinois injury victims for over 40 years.
The financial resources of your lawyer is important. Can that lawyer go the distance in a long and difficult litigation case, such as products liability or medical malpractice?
Jay Jansen. One name says it all.
Welcome back inside Vern Woosley Gym here in Bartonville. Always seems like a traditional playoff stop for the Clutch Sports Media. They've hosted regionals the past couple years. Fun fact, Caden, this gym was the first ever time that Clutch Sports Media did a 2-camera broadcast.
That is a very fun fact, John. I have a fun fact for you if you want to hear it.
Oh, let's hear it.
So Patrick Hogan is the head coach for Richwoods, and Matt Plummer is the head coach of East Peoria. Both of them are also the head coach of another sport, boys golf. So both of these coaches are 2-sport head coaches, both for golf and basketball.
Well, actually, the Richwoods head coach is William Smith, but Hogan, I don't see him on the sidelines. Again, I got to ask, where did you see that Hogan was the head coach?
IHSA.
Maybe you're reading the wrong line, but Patrick Hogan is the boys' golf and baseball coach.
Maybe I read baseball instead of basketball.
Baseball and basketball, it's tough to get those mixed up. Baseball season right around the corner, and Richwoods and East Peoria looking for big seasons for sure. As Somerville will get in a trip to the line, but last year Richwoods had a Cinderella run in the regional games and made it all the way to the sectional title game despite only winning, I believe, 7 or 8 games the entire regular season. It went something to the tune of 8-22, somewhere around there. And they upset Washington, who had a phenomenal year on the diamond. Then they won the regional title game, kept on winning, and almost, again, we're only a couple games short of state. So Knights have certainly a lot to look forward to this year. And East Peoria, a very good team at baseball as well as softball as well. So something to keep in mind, Caden. The spring sports right around the corner as well. We'll have lots of coverage for that. Baseball, softball, girls soccer, and get out to some of those broadcasts. We'll also be covering, track. We'll also have boys tennis, lacrosse as well. Maybe we'll get to a lacrosse game.
That was a hard hit into the wall. It was padded, but a very hard hit for Jackson Aarons. Back of the head on the wall there. I get it's padded, but that didn't look like it was fun.
Probably not, but he does a nice job recovering and sinking the first free throw. I always, bring him after tough fouls like that. It's so hard to make your first free throw because, you're just, you're coming off of a pretty hard impact. Your body feels like maybe just got thrown out of whack, but Aarons knocks down both free throws. He's been a bright spot for East Peoria. He's got 13 of their 29. Kit with 11. Still nothing from Cole Du Bois yet. Entry pass. Ball goes in and out. Here's Little on the drive and gets the roll. Nice finish from Little through traffic.
That put Little in double digits with 11 points tonight.
And 8 players have scored for Richwoods, and you just tuned in maybe the last 15, 20 minutes. Knights started the game on a 20-0 run, but since then, they've only had a 7-point advantage, so credit to East Peoria. 3-ball. Aarons, too long, and Little's there with the miss. We'll get a foul on Du Bois, I believe. That's Du Bois' 4th. As Heron back in for the green and white. Looking forward to next game, Caden. I know neither one of us will have the call for that one. We'll bring in our producer for this game, Michael Savoy, and our camera operator, Owen Dimple. They'll have the call for that one. Overall, what are you looking forward to in that game at all? If you know much about the Potters or the Panthers, but what are you looking forward to in that one?
I don't know much about either squad. I'm just looking for a great basketball game to follow this. We've definitely, I'm not saying that this has been not fun to watch, but when the score is not within a couple points, it's not as exciting as a close-knit basketball game. So that's what I'm most looking forward to and hoping for in the next battle.
anytime the conference foes meet in the playoffs, it doesn't matter really who won the regular season. I believe Morton won both their games against the Panthers, but there is the old adage, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, as Little gets the shooter's touch and induces the running clock. So that clock will not stop the rest of the game unless it's for a foul or a timeout. 3 ball from Greco's off, but
East Peoria only has 1 timeout left as they use the first 3 within the first 5 minutes of the game. So that is a nice shot there from Quinton Nitt. He's now at 13 tonight.
That kid's been really big for East Peoria this season. He started the season well as well. I mean, his first varsity games, he was already a Clutch Sports Media Winter Athlete of the Week nominee and won it. So had a good start to the year, and he will continue to benefit the Raiders as Somerville's up to 15. Of note, Daquan Little is a nominee for Athlete of the Week this week, but voting for that will close in 6 minutes. Close at 7 p.m., so not sure where Daquan stands in the vote count right now, and he was nominated because of his big game last week against PND. And maybe we'll see one of these Knights or Raiders as a nominee next week as well. Louderman drains the 3. We'll get a substitution timeout, and that will likely do it for Richwoods starters, including Little, Louderman, Jackson, and Somerville. Their nights are probably through, and Richwoods brings in a new group, including McFadden, Carter, Heron, as well as Etherly and Kylon Ross as well. East Peoria bringing in, I believe they still have the same group out there, actually. I want to give a quick plug while we have a chance for CSM overtime. 3 ball there from Corbin Parker. Rolls in. Nice shooting touch there from the junior, his first points. But
that got the student section to roar at East Peoria's side.
They're still chanting EP3. How about that? They're still engaged. Big credit to the tribe over there, student section of East Peoria, for staying engaged with this one, despite what the scoreboard says at the moment. But got to see us in overtime again. Head on over there, clutchsportsil.com/overtime. Subscribe there today. We have plenty of written content out there. Stories about both these teams recently. Our Gavin Russell had a great feature about East Peoria's youth and building for next year. They're proving they're hard to hurt on the hardwood, as you may have seen their warm-up shirts they wear have that motto on the back of them. And recently, a couple weeks ago, I sat down with Lathan Somerville, had just a little Q&A with him, getting to know the big man more. We see him so much in highlight reels. We hear about him in the news, but got to get to know him on a little bit of a deeper level. Ask him about playing in the Big Ten and what his goals are, what playing down at prep school in Georgia was like, and lots of other things as well. So head on over, check it out. We'll have lots more other coverage the rest of the playoffs as well, and into the spring season. Under 3 minutes to go. 3 ball from Mason Isaacs is off the mark. Nice pass up, and nearly a turnover, I believe. It should stay with East Peoria, as we had our first look at Truman Raher into the game, as well as Barksdale back in for the Knights. And stay tuned after this one. We'll have Morton and Washington coming up. Live audio coverage on our YouTube channel, as well as clutchsportsil.com. That one is scheduled to tip off at 7:30, maybe a couple minutes early, because this one is running ahead of schedule. So you can just pull that tab up, and when we're ready to go, you'll be the first to know for the Potters and the Panthers.
Yeah, the running clock definitely helped speed this game up and get us done here a little early.
East Peoria will try and savor these last 2 minutes, and yeah, similar to the game that we broadcasted last night with Washington's girls team, who came up short against Morton. 3 ball good there from Isaacs. Nice shot from the sophomore. But a lot of times you broadcast these games, you're talking about, there's so many seniors, and, obviously, again, I want to credit Marion Rogers and also Jack Brooks and Caleb Greco for their contributions to East Peoria throughout their careers. Lots of big futures for them. I know Jack Brooks is headed to the University of Illinois for engineering, I saw recently, so congrats to him, and I'm sure good things come ahead for Caleb Greco and Marion Rogers. But, as a lot of these players do come back next year, so, looking for a bright side, I don't think this one will sting maybe as much as maybe a typical season-ending loss would for East Peoria.
No, because they can build off this, John. They have a lot of youth who now have experience in a tough playoff game against a battle-tested team. And they're going to be able to use this as a driving motivational force in the offseason, as well as to kind of just teach their young players this is what playoffs is like.
Yeah, you're not going to see many teams like this. Teams with a guy like Somerville, shooters like Little and Louderman, guys like their entire senior class that runs 9 deep. And Barksdale will get a chance to score his first points. He does. Make that 9 scores for the night so far.
And that'll probably be it, as we only have 10 seconds left on the clock.
East Peoria will still get a chance for a last shot. Or no, they turn it back over. See what the Knights took up here. And Barksdale gets to the layup. That'll set the final score. A nice win for the Richwoods Knights. They take down East Peoria 69-40. And they will play for a Limestone Regional title here on Friday.
When Richwoods took that opening 20-0 lead, Richwoods showed how dominant they were on both sides of the ball. Then in the second quarter, East Peoria kept them step for step. Every bucket they matched, and they didn't let the lead get any bigger than 20. Only ended a 19-point game, John.
29.
29, my math. See, I'm a sports comm major for a reason.
I was going to say, both Bradley graduates, no jokes, say, hey, there's a reason we're calling games and not math majors. We'll step aside real quick. A quick word for our sponsors and wrap things up from Richwoods and East Peoria. Knights win big. Right back after these messages.
The WMBD Extra Effort Award, recognizing high school athletes at the top of their game on and off the field.
This week's Extra Effort Award winner is Central Catholic basketball standout Kate Earn, an honor roll student with a big heart for her community.
It's really nice to just know that we're making an impact at such a young age.
The Extra Effort Award, every Thursday on WMBD News at 6. Submit your nomination at CIProud.com. The Extra Effort Award on WMBD, sponsored by the CI Proud to Go mobile app.
Welcome back inside Limestone Richwoods, moving on to the regional title after a dominant win over the East Peoria Raiders, 69-40. They advanced to 25-4 on the year. East Peoria ends their season at 12-19. Again, Raiders, that final mark may be a little not indicative of how good of a season they had. They were over 500 most of the year, played some tough teams throughout, or I should say near the end of their schedule, but lots to look forward to and build on for next year. Richwoods, I think this is their year. If they want to make a deep run in state, this is probably one of the best chances that they'll have with Lathan Somerville in the mix and many others. And they took that first step here tonight.
Well, and my MVP of the game wasn't Lathan Somerville. It was Jared Jackson. Jared Jackson started that 20-0 run by scoring 8 of the points. He ended the night with 14, and at a couple steals, I think he had 4 to 5 steals, which you don't see a 4-steal, 14-point game very often, John.
Certainly don't. Again, we don't have official stats, so he could have potentially had more. The final point totals from this one, Lathan Somerville with 15, Jared Jackson with 16, Little with 13, Louderman has 6, Tyrese Carter with 3, Tavy Smith finishes with 5, Barksdale has 3, J.D. Etherly has 2, Marlon Heron with 6 for Richwoods. A true team effort for them. For East Peoria, their star of the show, I'd say their player of the game was probably Jackson Ahrens. He had 13, as well as Quentin Kitt. Maybe they share those honors. And Corbin Parker had 3, Isaacs had 3, and Marion Rogers had 2, and Caleb Greco had 4 for the Raiders. So, Kate, any final thoughts from this one before we send it off air?
East Peoria definitely, I mean, of course, East Peoria took the loss in this game and their season is over, but they should look at this as a positive sign. They played a very, very good game against a very talented team and a team built unlike no other in the state. They definitely have a lot of room to grow, build, and make next season a talented one. And if you look on the Richwoods side, they showed how dominant of a force they can be. And if they play that first quarter against for 4 against any team in this state, I don't know how anyone can compete against them.
They were impressive tonight. Some final scores from around the area: Benamor over Galesburg, 81-33. Tremont and El Paso Gridley, 38-39 in the fourth quarter. Keep an eye on that one in Class 2A. Lots of other playoff games coming up around the area. Fieldcrest wins 59-41. By the way, against Herscher, Knights move to 31-1, but the Richwoods Knights are winners as well here tonight from Limestone, 69-40. Stay tuned for Morton, Washington, coming up after this live audio coverage on ClutchSportsIL.com and our YouTube channel as well. We'll see you there. But for now, Richwoods big win. Thanks for joining us on CIProud.com. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you soon.